Can you explain in a few words? If a person was tortured, for example, somebody tried to kill her, punished her for a long time, let's say 2 weeks or 1 month, in a prison or somewhere. After a while, that person has some repeatedly thoughts about that event. He's scared. Can somebody translate?
Somebody tortured himself.
Yeah, not himself. Somebody else tortured a person for a long time.
He give torture to the other person.
Yeah.
Other person.
And the person somebody was tortured, suffered from that. Yeah. After a while, that person, she will have repeatedly thoughts about that. She can't escape from that thoughts for years.
Oh,
let's say.
so some guilty feeling.
Yeah.
Guilty feeling.
Not guilty feeling. Not
பயந்துட்டு இருக்கா அந்த இன்சிடென்ட்னால யாரோ கொல்ல வராங்க அது முடிஞ்சு போச்சு அந்த மெமரியில ரிப்பீட் ஆயிட்டே இருக்கு பயம்.
Can you explain? We can translate it.
Yes.
Can you explain why that person has these repeatedly thoughts of being scared?
The affected person may attack, give re-attack to the person.
இல்லையா அந்த affected person
In English we can speak.
See, one person is trying to kill the other person. The person who is getting the fear, the incident is over. After 2 weeks or maybe a month, this person is having the fear that the other person may come and hit him at any time. So why the fear is getting recorded and why is the pattern of the thought is getting repeated.
Repeatedly and can go away.
For example, you met with a bike accident or car accident. And whenever next time when you take the bike or anything, the previous accident will be creating some fear with you. The same fear, it will activate the fear. The same thing?
Yeah.
Somebody tried to kill ourselves and we escaped. But whenever we have some time, naturally we have the fear somebody may try to kill ourselves. We may have. So, this is we have to rescue ourselves. We have the tendency like this. It is good. For example, when you go into a dark place, for example in Tiruvannamalai you go into a dark place, there are many bushes and you have one day when you go there, you saw a snake, so some dangerous snake. So the next day when you go along the way, you afraid of snake whenever at any time the snake may come. So if the fear is there, you can be cautious. If there is no snake, you cannot be cautious. So it is good for to rescue yourself. The mechanism is functioning to rescue yourself. So the mechanism is good. There is no fault in that. But at the same time, when he is being more and more, if he is having the thought again and again unnecessarily, so that means you have to give total freedom to the unnecessary thoughts. You should not restrict any thought. If you restrict any thoughts, so the thing will be more energized. So you need not worry about the thought. To the extent for your help, you can make use of that.
I understand that. For a normal person who understood that, it's okay.
Okay.
But if you are not normal, let's say you are like sick, you should go to the doctor to see you, to do something if possible to.
So if he is able to understand, the understanding will operate. You need not take any medicine. But he must have the capacity to understand. Somebody may not have the capacity to understand the things. For such person, they have to use some tablets or medicine. Then only to a certain extent they can use the medicine. Afterwards, they can use. With the help of the counseling, they can get back to the original state.
Swamiji, your sentence is welcomed and well and good. If anyhow he want only for remedy, not this person, he want of remedy. நம்ம சொல்கிறோம் இப்படி நீங்கள் தாட்ஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது, பண்ணினீங்கன்னா இப்படி வரும் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறோம். பட் ஹி வாண்ட்ஸ் ஒன்லி ரெமெடி. ஏன் அது வந்துச்சு, அதுக்கு உடனே எனக்கு ரெமெடி சொல்லுங்கிறத சொல்ல மாட்டேங்கிறான். தட் இஸ் அ மேட்டர் ஆஃப் ஃபேக்ட். தட்ஸ் வை ஐ அம் டெல்லிங். Your sentence is well and good. But he wants a remedy.
You speak in your pamphlet about a lady who was lost a child. Husband and wife, husband managed, wife did not.
Yeah.
How can she come out from that? Just by observation, or?
So we have to understand that we have no work with related to the thought. So some repeated thought may come against the loss of the child. So that is natural. Whoever got the loss of like this, the thought will come like this. But when we travel along with the thought, consciously travel along with the thought, we transfer the thought into thinking. So the thinking alone is creating some struggle within ourselves, some grip within ourselves. Otherwise, when the thought comes, it will go away very easily. But when it is transformed into thinking, it will not go away from us easily. So, as far as possible, we should not convert any thought into thinking. Let it be natural. If the natural thought will go very freely from us, but the thinking will not go because some conscious part is there. So we have to withdraw our conscious part. If we withdraw our conscious part, the unconscious function alone will be there. If it is functioning in the unconscious way, the unconsciously it will be alright in course of time. But if you consciously do anything, the process will be prolonged many days, time, year or anything, and it will damage many health problems. So in this way it will work.
So even the trauma can be gradually dissolved?
Naturally dissolved. You need not wait for that. If you work for the dissolution, the drama will continue.
You told that we divide the apple into two. It cannot roll easily. Likewise, we divide object and subject, and consciousness can't flow easily. So how can I know? How can not divide object and subject?
So outside is concerned, for example, you are separate, I am separate. I have a thought. The thought shows yourself, and the very thought, the same thought shows me also. The very thought shows me and shows you. There is no two thought. Only single thought describe you. The single thought at the same time describe me. It describes me as I am, and the same thought describes you as you. So here the thought divide ourselves into two persons, and we can have the help of the thought. We can have some discussion. We can have some dealings, anything. But in the same way, the same thought divide ourselves in our psychological structure also. When we have some anger or fear, when the thought looks at the anger or fear, it creates a psychological eye consciousness, which is who is having the fear, who is having the anger. Thereby, it gives a responsibility to the eye consciousness to get away from the anger, to get away from the fear. So actually, psychologically, there is only one experience at a moment. There cannot be any dual experience. Each and every moment, single experience alone can be there. But physically, there may be many persons. But psychologically, one experience alone is possible. There cannot be any two experience at a moment. Single experience alone in a single moment. There cannot be any two experience in a single moment. But it may appear dual, but it is real. It is one. Even though it is subject and object experience may be there. I am a subject, I am having the anger, I am having the fear. It may look like that. I am a separate person. For the time being, I am having anger, and in the next moment, I may be free from anger. We may think like that. but it is illusory, it is meaningless duality. But actually there is no duality, but it looks as if there is some duality. It is only illusory duality. But physically it is real duality, it is not illusory duality. You are real and I am also real. The distinction is real, the duality is real. But psychologically, the duality may appear duality, but it is not really dual. It is single, it is same, it is total. All experience, all consciousness is total and whole. There is no dual consciousness. Each and every moment, single consciousness alone is there. That is real.
You talk about the role of the mind, but the role of the heart, what is?
We need not divide the heart, mind. Everything as totally as mind. We can include our heart also within the mind. So totally. So in the scriptures they are dealing with the mind into several parts. Manam, Buddhi, Siddham, Ahankar. They are dividing, but both totally known as mind. You can divide Manam, Buddhi, Siddham, Ahankar in 4 ways. You can divide, but totally it is mind.
So if I ask who you are, you answer me you are consciousness.
So we can say it is a consciousness. For time being, I am a consciousness. The consciousness is having some quality. With the help of our thought, I am somebody, and I have a role like this. So everything is supplied by our thought, supplied by our memory.
So right now, who you are?
Consciousness.
Consciousness.
But the reality is.
No, I am.
So for the time being, I am is there. There is no I am. We cannot say there is no I am. Each and every moment the I am is there. But this I am will exist only for this moment alone. But the next moment a new I am will come. But we may think a constant I am is there. But actually it is a momentary I am. Even though it is momentary, because of our memory pattern, we give a link to the disappeared memory and the appearing memory. And thereby we construct ourselves as a constant entity. Actually there is no constant entity. The basic structure may be constant, but the basic structure we cannot feel. Whatever we can feel is only consciousness. The reality we cannot feel. The awareness we cannot feel.
Sir, I have a question. If we do our work daily, the same thing repeatedly, we are getting easily bored. And I think we are also doing the same thing, doing satsang, and people asking the same questions again and again to you. It's maybe new to us, but it is repeated one way. How are you dealing with this?
I may be new multiplied moment. New I am, new audience.
We don't get that enthusiasm. How to deal with that?
So I have some responsibility to share my idea. So the responsibility creates some interest upon me to share my idea. If you don't have any interest like this, I cannot share. I can keep myself with my understanding.
But where is this responsibility coming from? To share.
But we cannot place anybody. We cannot give the responsibility to somebody else. I don't know where from it comes. It comes within me. That I feel. But where maybe what is the source beyond that we cannot feel. Some source may be there, but but whatever I feel, I have the feeling within myself. And where it is supplied, where from it is supplied like this, I don't know.
And if our physical body dies, what will happen to consciousness?
So the consciousness is known as the Consciousness will disappear. The consciousness which is having contained is known as the subtle body or Sukshma Sarira or subtle body. The subtle body is a psychological body. So some psychological body is living within our physical body. The psychological body will live away from the physical body and it will may take another birth, another body. But the physical body goes away. But the psychological body will survive. That is the Sukshma Sarira.
So how the consciousness choose the another body?
The consciousness cannot choose. Some another some mechanism may be there to divert, to give some direction, give some management. Some other powers may be there to manage all those things, to select a body, to select a next body. But we cannot have the choice to select a body. So if we have the chance to select a body, you will select only a good body alone, good situation alone. So here, according to your karma theory, according to your karma alone, the suitable body will be provided to you to deal with your karma. Some other, some powers may be for the management of those things, but I don't know. It is said like that. But it should not, you cannot clarify other things with related to this me. But I may have just like you, I may presume it may be like that. But other things we can verify with ourselves. But the psychological matter, as enlightenment, liberation, we can discuss. That is practical, we can test it for yourself. I have no doubt about it, and you can get clarification with that. Then I have the idea, I have the responsibility to clear any doubt with related to that things. But these are the things, Sukshma Sarira, subtle body, and what is going on after death, that I can presume something just like you. It may be right or wrong, I don't know. If you may believe or not. But what are the other things you need not believe. You can test for yourself, you can verify the saying, you can test it for your life, and you can find out whether it is true or not.
So even our Siddhar and our Jnanis can identify the 9 planets without any technology. How could it is all possible? Whether it is, you said there is no nothing beyond us. I don't know that. Then how it is possible? So something is there, right? So they can identify the 9 brothers, 9 planets, and how it's all functioning. There is a sun, there is a moon, there is also a earth. It is rotating. Everything they are find out without any technology. How it is all possible?
So there are many things in the yogic process. If you have some focus your attention, that is known as dharana. In many chakras also, if you place your attention there as dharana, and thereby you can have some revelation. Through such revelation you can find out. But I have not gone through such kind of practices. So I am not interested on that things. So I have no idea about that. But there many scriptures, many said like that, and there is a way like that. But it is not the way for enlightenment. It is not the way for liberation.
So I am not asking that enlightenment and liberation. What is my question is that how? So you said after birth is, I don't know whether it is true or it is false, right? So we can find out those things naturally without any technology. Whatever they said, it is also maybe true, right?
Maybe true. I am not opposing that. It may be true, but I have no idea about that. But it is possible. If you go on that route, if you place your attention upon some chakras, and you may have the revelation of some such kind of ideas. What is on the planets? You may have some idea about some deities who is guiding all those things. What will happen to your previous birth and later birth. You can have many ideas about those things. Somebody may have the idea of some herbal, what are the quality of this herb. They can have the revelation like this. Everything is possible.
Okay, what about the karma? The karma will transfer to next life, you said, right? What about the karma? What is we are doing in the current life? Whether it will work out or else it will only work out to next karma, next life only, or else how it is all settled down?
No, in this karma, in this life itself, certain karma will be, we have to be meet. But in the certain karmas will be, we have to take in the next life. That is this karma, if you are doing this karma here, that is known as the ahame karma. And the total karma of many births is known as sanchita karma. And the thing for which you have to undergo, and you bring the karma when you are having the birth, that is known as prarabdha karma. So according to the prarabdha karma is your fate. Your fate is prarabdha karma. According to the fate, you can do your work here. And during the prarabdha karma also, you can create more karma. You have the liberation, you have the freedom to create more karma also. You can create good karma, bad karma, and all karmas will join in the total account. And you can, one by one, you can have.
So how can we escape from this karma?
You cannot escape. If you want to escape, you have to die. But
even escape, I am going to
again you have to die. So why don't you try to escape? Actually, the karma is given not as a punishment. It is guiding you. Without karma, you cannot exist. So every karma is giving a chance for your life. Thereby, you can make use of your karma. Everything, it is not a punishment. Karma is not a punishment.
But Buddha said all the things happening because of your desire things, the particular desire. Why the thing, once you cut down all your desire, you will stop to be born again. They said like that in all of the scriptures of Buddha saying, Mahavir says the same thing. How it is.
So, particular means the freedom from desire means we have to be free. The liberation, when you are liberated, that is nishkami karma. You are beyond your karma. That means you are not psychologically affected. You are psychologically free. You can be psychologically free, but physically you are not free. Even though you may be psychologically free, you are not free from physically. Even after liberation, if you touch the fire will burn your hand. As I have realized, I have enlightened, the fire will not burn me. It will burn as if I have not realized. So, everything goes naturally. But at the psychological, we may be free. Whenever we are liberated, whenever we are enlightened, we can be free from the clutches of the karma. We have free from the impact of the karma.
So the karma will not work out on that time.
No, karma means all happenings, all the physical happening is related to karma, not psychological thing. Physical things alone is related to the karma.
Related to this also yesterday, somebody asked about the predetermination. Because also you say whatever happens, it's a chain of things, thoughts, whatever, happenings, and then something happens, which is totally independent of me. But the person went further on and said, whatever I think right now, whatever I say right now, it's a consequence of something previous. So it's also predetermined. I don't really have the choice to say what I just say. So in this respect, then the understanding and the confirmation of the understanding must be also predetermined, or not?
So here, the circumstances alone is predetermined, not a psychological factor. See, the understanding, confirmation, everything is psychological. You have the option. But even in the circumstances alone is predetermined. But in the circumstances, you can have the free access to do anything. Otherwise, new karma is not possible. So if everything is predetermined, no new karma is cannot be there. So the circumstances alone is determined previously. But in that circumstances, you can create new karma, good and bad.
Depending on how you act.
Yeah.
Okay.
But your psychological always free. You have to have an idea about yourself. You can change your idea about yourself. You are free. Psychologically, you are always free.
So it's this sin layer which is called then free choice. You have the free choice to.
So psychologically, you are always totally free. Psychological structure is 100% free. Physically alone, some circumstances, maybe some other sources may be there. But psychologically is 100% in our hand.
In different cultures, we have like different standards of morality. For example, the idea of ahimsa, non-violence. In some cultures, it's okay to kill a mosquito. In other cultures, it's considered bad karma. So, in some cultures, we would think we're creating bad karma, in others, it would be neutral or no karma at all. So, how do we find the standards, the moral standards, to avoid the bad action? Like, what is God's standards for a moral action as opposed to an immoral action?
But I have no clear idea about that. I have no clear-cut idea about that. But anyhow, my opinion about that is that killing some animals for our food is not bad karma. But at the same time, not killing anything for our food may be good karma. We may take like this.
Is there like a universal authority in moral or ethical issues?
Beg your pardon.
Again.
Is there like a universal authority in moral or ethical issues, or is it just an understanding in a particular community that these things may be considered right and these things may be considered wrong?
What do you say?
Dharma is relative. Is it absolute or relative? He's asking, because the dharmic values are different in all the places, no? So is he asking, is there a particular rule regarding that?
So I have to form some opinion about that. I am not authority. You can follow there is no doubt. For you have some formalities in your country, in your society, you can follow without any intention. But if you deliberately do any harm to other animal or anything without, for example, you have to take the non-vegetarian food alone. Non-vegetarian food alone is available. You have to survive. You have to use the non-vegetarian food. You cannot take fasting. So, according to the circumstances, as far as possible, you can do the right thing. Whatever your consciousness will say, you can follow the right thing. There is no rigid rule like this. This is my opinion.
Also, they say dharma is relative only in scriptures also. It is always relative.
Yeah. According to the circumstances, you can do the good action. But for example, how do you explain that in a moment, for example, in the history, some white face go to America and then decree that the white face are not human, like simple animals. And this idea came in every man that went to America. How do we share this kind of idea? How is it possible that in our oneness, the same idea can come?
unable to follow.
Racism ஏன் இருக்குங்கறாரு. Racism, இனவெறி மதவெறிலாம் இருக்குல்ல. இப்போ அமெரிக்கால போயிட்டு பிளாக்கா இருக்கறவங்கள பார்த்தா ஒயிட்டா இருக்கறவங்களுக்கு ஒரு கோபம் வருது. ஒண்ணா இருக்கும்போது ஏன் இந்த ரெண்டு நெகட்டிவ் ஃபீலிங் இந்த மாதிரி இதெல்லாம் வருது?
But we do not feel ourselves oneness. We feel duality. Externally we feel dual. Psychologically it may also possible to feel the oneness. We have to feel the oneness. Even psychologically also we are not feeling oneness. We feel dual. But even though we feel dual, we have to understand it is, even though it appears dual, really it is one. We have to understand like this. But externally speaking, duality is real. Duality is actual. It is not unreal. It is not illusory. Duality is real. There is no oneness. But at the same time, if you are psychologically okay, physical thing will be followed. Physical thing will be in a good way, good thing. Good thing will happen in the physical world also.
Yeah, because sometimes there is flow, there is river of the same idea. For example, I don't know, when the communism was there is a thousand of people that were united in the same idea. The same idea was, okay, we are working and we gonna rule the world.
So how is it possible? So all those things are some material aspect. In the material aspect, we can have some arrangement. For that, somebody may hold some idea, and somebody may appreciate the idea, and they may the appreciators, the followers may form a group, and they may attack the other idea group. So that is the so here the culture is going on changing. So at one period they may select some idea, the next generation they may forego the idea and form a new idea. So anyhow we have to, our culture must be developed. So in a developed situation we have to have love with everything. Then only in a good situation, good world will be there.
Swamiji, I read in the books that Ramana said that his highest teaching is the silence, and he advised people to keep quiet. But often, if they couldn't keep quiet, and he's ask, who am I? So it looks like it is giving the I consciousness some work or some responsibility to ask who am I. So, in your opinion, do you feel that can be an effective, or how do you view that as a device to get the insight that actually there's no one?
So what means we need not separate ourselves. For psychologically, we should not have any work. For example, if you have some sorrow within ourselves, the I consciousness want to be free from the sorrow within ourselves. So that work is not necessary, it is unnecessary work. That work, so you have to understand. If you understand, you need not try to keep quiet. The very understanding will act that you have no work. It will find yourself without any work. So you have to understand, there is no work. For example, you stand in front of your mirror. Your image will be in the mirror also. Would you try to join both the image and yourself? Because why? Because you understand it is not actual. If it is actually, if it is go away from yourself, you have to join yourself. But it is not. But if you deliberately know the image is not yourself, so you do not take any responsibility to join along with your image. So you understand, let it be like that, but I don't want to join the image along with me. It is like that. In this way, our thought reflect like this as a dual one. Even though it is reflect like this as dual one, actually there is no duality. When you understand there is no work for that, the very understanding will operate and the unity will be there. Because of the unity, the consciousness will freely flow, because it becomes total.
Swamiji, that person says, அந்த இடத்துல அந்த மதங்களை ரொம்ப இது பண்றாங்க. மிஸ்டர் வல்லல் ராமலிங்க சுவாமி says, மதமான பேய் பிடியாதிருக்க வேண்டும் by prayer. That is the matter of fact. மதமான பேய் பிடியாதிருக்க ஒருமையுடன் நின்று திருமலரடி எனக்கென்ற உத்தமரன் ஒரு வேண்டும். அந்த பாட்டில் வருது. மதமான பேய் பிடியாதிருக்கும், மறு பெண்ணாசையை மறக்க வேண்டும், முனையென்றும் மறவாதிருக்க வேண்டும், மதி வேண்டும், நின் கருணை நிதி வேண்டும், நோயற்ற வாழ்வில் நான் வாழ வேண்டும் அப்படின்னு வருது. Then the America also put up on constructions உலக அமைதி. The sentence, your sentence is well and good and accepted your sentence, but I tell something that is a matter of fact. That's why I am telling. Mr. Upper Swamigal by Jainis take சுண்ணாம்பு காலில் வச்சு கொடுக்கணும், கடல்ல நிரப்ப விட்டு வந்துட்டார். மதம் they got more மந்திர சக்திஸ் ஜைனிஸ். அவரு எப்படித்தான் வந்தாரு என்னன்னு தெரியாது. We don't know. That is a story. The story has no legs, no hand. That is a matter of fact. That's why I am telling. மதத்தின் பேரில் எல்லாரும் அழிக்கப்படுகிறார்கள். இந்த மதம் வேண்டாம் தான் சொல்லுது. இந்தியாவில் மட்டும்தான் நிறைய இருக்கு, வேற எங்கேயும் இல்லை. இந்த இந்தியாவில் உள்ள சிஸ்டம் வேற எங்கேயுமே கிடையாது. இந்த ஆதார் அட்டை, இந்த ரேஷன் கார்டு, எந்த ஹோல் வேர்ல்டில் கிடையாது. இது ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம் இந்தியாவில். The Modi government is well and good.
So question? Okay, Doctor.
I would like to ask practical questions about what you said yesterday and today. Like we have to give complete freedom for the consciousness. We don't have any psychological growth. Yes.
No, psychologically no work. We have to understand like this.
Yes,
This understanding is also psychological. The understanding is also intellectual. But this intellectual understanding will operate as freedom.
Yes, but I feel a really old habit of control, to feeling the control. So it makes doing this kind of psychological growth. So I understand, I agree completely what you are saying, but I just can't do that because there is a kind of something which want to control, which want to contradict. For example, if I am angry, there is something like I shouldn't be. Or when I'm feeling a kind of angry or feeling a kind of sad, there is something which is saying like you shouldn't do that. And then I start this psychological growth. And I understand what you're saying, and I agree completely, this is the key for everything. But how to do it?
But here, whatever you are having in your in the kind of emotion, angry, tension, fear or anything, it is good to make use of for the external use. For example, when you saw a snake, you may have fear. You can make use of the fear and you get away from the snake. So for that you can make use of that. But at the same time, if you have fear, you need not do anything to separate the fear. So you have to understand like this. You have no work. If it is not related to the external work, if it is purely psychological, without any relation to the external thing, if it is purely psychological, it is meaningless, it may be meaningless, unnecessarily it may come. But you have to understand, you have to give total freedom. Let it be there forever. If you give total freedom to be there forever, even though you give permission to be for there, but it will not be there. It will go away very soon.
It's all emotion I can do that.
Yeah,
I have a old habit.
But you should not do it as a practice. But if you do it as a practice, it is as a struggle within yourself. So you have to understand, let it be there forever. The matter is over. Because you have no work.
Okay, thanks. So I shouldn't make it as a practice, as a mechanism. Just
No practice, no practice. We are understanding this now. We have no work.
Okay.
So if you are unconsciously struggle within yourself, doesn't matter. But don't do it consciously.
Okay.
If you do it consciously, that I have to keep myself without any anger or anxiety, the conscious work will avoid.
And that's all.
That's all.
Thanks, sir.
So what do you tell about the prayers? Whether the people can pray through some hours? What do your opinion?
For the external actions, you may pray. For example, you want some money, you can pray for that. So for somebody may have some disease, and you may pray for the God to recover from the disease. That you can pray. That is for the physical things. But psychologically, if you want to pray, I want to be free from my sorrow, fear, that is meaningless. It is already going. Because of your prayer, you may give life to the emotion. Because of your fear, you are giving more life to the emotion system. So it is already going. Because there is no work. Psychologically, the prayer has no work. The prayer is meaningless.
Whether the external prayer will work out or it will not work.
May work. But anyhow, some karma is there. According to the karma, they have to work. For example, you are the judicial officer, you are a judge, and I have committed a crime, and I am in front of you, and I pray you, please save me from the crime, please liberate me, I will give you many money. Will you accept my prayer? Why? Right. So in this way, so the karma is responsible for our action. So the karma is more powerful than prayer. So if you do some good karma, the karma will rescue from our problems. So the good karma alone will be the rescue for your bad karmas.
What about the consciousness and the mind? Whether it's both are related or it is separated or that one is separate?
Mind, consciousness, everything is one. You need not separate mind and consciousness. Mind, consciousness, everything is one. But awareness is different. Awareness is the basic structure of mind, consciousness and everything. But consciousness and mind, everything is one.
So consciousness, mind, it's all called as Atma?
No. That is awareness. Basic. For example, you have the sensitivity of your tongue. The basic sensitivity of the tongue is Atma. That is awareness. But that we cannot feel. But what we can feel is the taste. If you taste a sweetness, bitter taste, you can feel the taste. The taste alone is consciousness. That we can feel. Without the sensitivity of the tongue, we cannot have any sensation, any taste feeling. But all the taste feeling is created by the basic constitution, basic sensitivity. The basic sensitivity is Atma. But what we feel is consciousness. The taste, all the tastes are consciousness.
And also mind.
Mind.
So there is not continuity in consciousness.
Huh? No continuity.
Only ideas coming one after
One after another.
And awareness?
Awareness, we do not know about it. It may not be, it may be a permanent one. It may have appearance or disappearance. We may tell it as Atma or Brahman. Anything we can say like this. It is ever permanent. There is no birth and death to that is absolute reality. We may say like this because we do not know anything about that. We can rely upon the scriptures. The scriptures say
knowing without knowing. So
we can infer. We can infer.
We can infer.
Okay. According to the scriptures and according to your personal experience, because of our taste, we are tasting many things. Some basic sensitivity of the tongue we can infer. Throughout the body we can have the sensitivity. Wherever we touch, we feel the thing. But at the same time, the remaining part we cannot feel. Wherever we touch, the touch feeling we can feel. But we can infer the same sensitivity may be there throughout the body. We can infer like this. But here, the Atma, the Brahman, that is, it is ever present. There is no birth or death to that. That is the sayings of scriptures. We can rely upon that. We can say, let it be.
Okay.
So the liberated person can do all the activities external activities like smoking, drinking, anything else like is possible. Whether he will like to do or else he will not like to do.
So, some addiction, because of if you are liberated, you may be free from addiction. But if you may be interested, you may do anything. But everything is under your control. So if you are everything under your control, you can do anything. If you can select, but you are not addicted to that. That is different. But the enlightened person will not be addicted to it. And one another statement is that what is Manolaya and Manonasa? Manolaya.
Manolaya.
Manonasa.
Mano.
Manolaya means, for example, whenever you look at a tree, your mind takes the shape of the tree itself. Then only you can identify the tree itself. So the identification is possible when we take the role of the tree itself or take the role of something. So in this way, whenever we have some emotion, the mind takes the role of the emotion itself. Fear, anger, sorrow, anything, we take the role of the emotion itself. So that is Manolaya. The mind take the role, take the shape. The mind taking a shape is known as Manolaya. The Manonasa means if you are free, get away from the shape, that is Manonasa. If you are free from the shape, it is Manonasa. So here, whatever all our experiences is possible only with the help of Manolaya. Manolaya alone, we can have any experience. Without Manolaya, we cannot have any experience. So even the enlightenment, even the understanding itself, all through part of Manolaya. Without Manolaya, we cannot understand anything. So our understanding is also possible with the help of Manolaya. So Manolaya is the basic thing. Without Manolaya, no experience is possible. All experience is possible only with the help of Manolaya. But Manonasa is more important because whatever comes has to go away. You should not, we should not lock within the Manolaya. So whenever we have some bad emotion, anger or fear, it is a Manolaya. We have to be free from that. And the freedom is natural. Because all consciousness is momentary, the Manonasa is natural. We have to allow the natural thing to happen. So if you are adamantly catch hold of something, some Manolaya, that is problem. So actually all our meditation creates the Manolaya. Even some Samadhi state is a kind of Manolaya. All our bliss consciousness is a kind of Manolaya. So for beginners everything may be helpful, but we should not criticize Manolaya. Even enlightenment is also belong to Manolaya. With the help of Manolaya alone, we can understand things. But with the help of the Manolaya, we can understand things and give freedom to the happening of Manonasa. So if you do not catch hold of any Manolaya forever, it undergoes as Manonasa. Whatever comes naturally disappears. So the natural disappearance is Manonasa. And the liberation is belonging to the liberation, the Manonasa. So Manonasa and liberation is same. But understanding is related to understanding, enlightenment is all related to the Manolaya. With the help of Manolaya, we have to come to a conclusion, we have to get enlightenment or everything. But with the help of enlightenment, we have to give freedom to the Manonasa. So Manonasa, we should not disturb the Manonasa. Whatever, but I am very peaceful, I am having bliss consciousness, I am alright, I should be here forever. We should not take the decision like this. So that is the one thing related to the Manolaya and Manonasa.
You are talking about understanding without shape, without form.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let come in the phenomena without laboring.
We should not catch hold of anything forever.
And you say that this is enlightenment.
Enlightenment is the understanding.
Okay,
understanding. But the understanding comes through Manolaya alone.
Okay.
Without Manolaya, we cannot understand anything.
Okay.
All our actions of our mind is because of Manolaya. But we can make use of that. And by understanding, we have to give freedom to the happening of Manonasa.
He said about an enlightened person. Is this not a contradiction in terms? Because if you got enlightened, then you have understood that the person is only a sequence of souls. So the person cannot be enlightened, the person just dissolved.
So each and actually consciousness is a momentary one. We should not try to extend the duration. If you try to extend the duration, we have a vicious circle of the consciousness. So we have to give liberation to the disappearance of the Manolaya.
Yeah.
So all experiences, if you are interested, but the problem is that not in the negative emotions. All are interested to give away the negative emotions. The Manonasa is possible related to the negative emotion. Everybody is interested to give freedom to go away from us. But the problem is only to good emotions. They try to catch hold of good emotions forever. That is the problem. If you try to catch hold of some good emotion, the habit transforms the bad thing also. So you apply the same thing with bad emotions also. Thereby you feel you have some responsibility to deal with that. Because of some responsibility to deal with that, you give life to the negative emotions also. Otherwise, the negative emotions will go away very easily. So you have to understand, you have to give a training that you have to give up the good emotions. That is the basic training.
So compared to all of them, India is the birthplace of that liberation. They said like that. Whether what your opinion about that liberation and all, it is all birthplace of India. Whether it is true or it is not true.
Wait till you claim your superiority over others.
That's the questioning. I may not. I don't want any. But just many people said this, many scriptures are saying this, whether it is true or else it is all widely spread and we are taken that as all thing as our favor, we are taking this as
So here the faith towards God or anything, the surrender is possible here very easily. Here in India, the surrender, the aptitude of surrender is very high. He accepts everything very easily. So in that case, when the surrender is easily possible, the liberation is also easily possible. So it may be for the reason. India may be like that.
In a way, I understand your talking, your understanding of enlightenment, like a prayer we have in Occident, we have in Western. This prayer is without any kind of intention, any kind of word. We just surrender to the God what is a weight, what is a weight inside, what is any kind of surrender that's coming. This prayer is I give you to God. I give it to you, God. It's like giving the weight to the God. Like finally also said Ramana. He said, don't care about your baggage. Just put it in the wagon, in the train, and then be free about it. Be free. Give me the weight. So in the way your understanding is is also ignore the culture. Because giving to the God is also saying in the psychological world, don't worry, there is nothing to do, and it just let.
But psychologically it matches perfectly, but if you extend to the physical thing, some problem will be there.
Sure.
But most of the saints, they are not divided into the physical and psychological. They totally say you have to put everything in the hands of God.
That is, in Western we were very good for that. We were materialist, so we do very well in the world.
But physically, we have to take the responsibility. Psychologically alone, the problem is only psychological, not physical. So we have to be freely ourselves psychologically. So because problem is there in the psychological world, not in the physical world. Physically everything is okay. So we should not place anything in the hands of God. You have to take responsibility.
Okay.
On your point of view, God is there or there is no God?
It's possible. As we infer the awareness or Atma, we can infer God itself. But we cannot experience. I don't have any experience, direct experience with God. We can infer God may be there. We can presume some God may be there, some management may be there. There are certain persons, we have some revelation, some darshan of godly appearances, some deities. They have some, we should not deny you are wrong. It may be there, but it does not come on the main route of enlightenment liberation. But without the help of God, you can be liberated. Everything is in your hand. It is not in the hands of God. It is in your hand. If you are open, in this moment you can be liberated, you can be enlightened. That is the main thing. Knowing God is not a good thing. Moreover, the real God, the absolute God is our awareness. Awareness nobody can feel, nobody can see. But the manifested God, somebody may be there. So as we have the existence of some physical experiences, some divine existence may be there. Some in the form of some deities, some existence may be there. So that is not absolute God, some limited gods. The absolute God is awareness, that is Brahma. Absolute God, nobody can feel. So everything can come from that. All the expression, all formation, everything is come from the real God, the absolute God. Absolute God, nobody can feel. But the limited God, somebody gave some vision or anything. They can have some vision, some connection with the limited gods. They are in the level of deities.
Those limited connections with the deities, for example, is that like good for beginners or is that okay for everyone? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is that a step towards that other one, or can they coexist?
So you can practice for good emotion, for some bliss consciousness, some peace of mind. For that you can do meditation if you are the beginner. But you cannot be a beginner for 2 more years. Only 1 or 2 years are enough. But for the lifelong, you need not be a beginner. You may search for some experience, and that is meaningless. For a beginner, then only they can have some entrance with the spiritual world. They can understand himself and understand the enlightenment and the liberation. That is the main thing. For that, you have to understand. Very understanding is enough. You need not work. But all meditation, you have to work some meditation. You have to do some practices. That all work, all practices is only for the beginners.
Even the bhakti practices also.
All practice is necessary for the beginners. By practice, you can do something. Do some meditation. Meditation is a practice. Doing meditation is a practice. With the help of such kind of practice, you can have some good experience. And thereby we can have an idea about the spiritual world. But afterwards, the practice and the experience coming through that practice is not necessary. Because we need not maintain any emotion within yourself. We should not maintain any experience within yourself. We have to free from all experience. When we want to free from all experience, why should we unnecessarily create experience within ourselves? Naturally, even though you are not creating experience, naturally, according to the circumstances, some experience will come. And the natural experience will go. It is enough for ourselves. We need not deliberately create any good experience within ourselves.
Consciousness, emotions, how these, whether we can relate those things, or else how can we say that?
So both are. Emotion is a form of consciousness. Totally it is consciousness. Even thought is a consciousness, mind is a consciousness, all emotions are consciousness. Totally it is known as consciousness.
Enlightenment is also consciousness.
Enlightenment is a part of consciousness. Because of the internal enlightenment comes with the understanding of through intellectual process. Through intellectually you come to a conclusion. This is happening through your consciousness. So you do everything in the field of consciousness. In the field of consciousness alone, with the help of your intellect, you come to a conclusion that you have no work in the level of consciousness. So it is purely psychological.
Bhagavan, this statement you have done today, what there is no duality inside ourselves, and statement which you did yesterday, you said we have no work in ourselves. Is it the same, or is
Same.
Same.
No, same. So actually there is no duality within ourselves, but we think some duality is there. When we think there is duality within ourselves, the work starts. We have to try to unite, try to set right the thing. If you understand that there is no work, that means you dismiss the duality itself.
If there is no duality, it means we are coordinated with the oneness, or else it is
Psychologically with your emotion now, not with relate to the external world. External world duality is there. I am separate, you are separate. But you are not separate entity with related to your emotions. For example, whenever you have some happiness, you may think I am happy. In the same way, you may have some fear. You may think I have fear, I have sorrow, I have tension. So actually, you may think like that. I am a separate person who is having, one time he is having anxiety, the next moment he is having some happiness. Moment by moment it is experiencing a different thing. The entity is a constant factor. Actually, there is no constant factor like this. Each and every moment, new entity alone is there. And only thing is that whatever time, at any time, one single emotion is there. Either happiness or sorrow or fear, anything is maybe there. Only because of the thought, it divides everything into two, subject and object. Only because of the intention of the thought, we take it into two. I have the fear, I have the sorrow, so I have to be free from sorrow, I have to be free from the thing. Actually, there is no two. Actually, whenever you are standing in front of the mirror, your image will be there in the mirror. Even though the image in the mirror, you are not divided, you have not divided anything to send into the mirror. You are saying, even though the mirror image is there, you are whole. There is no duality within yourself. But if you think you are divided, you are separate from the image, and you feel you have to deal something with the image, it is meaningless. So in this way, Even in the psychological world, we may think, I am separate from my anger, I am separate from my fear, I am separate from my sorrow. The thing that, if you think like that, we have to do something to get away from the thing. So actually it may look like that, but even though it is looking like that, naturally and really there is no division between yourself, within the psychological world. Physical world duality is there, but in the psychological world, each and every experience is a single momentary experience. In that, in the single consciousness may look dual. I am separate, my experience is also separate. You may think like that. But actually, each and every moment, a single consciousness alone is there.
So the enlightened person will not do any mistakes.
So if you, for example, you are enlightened,
Okay.
and I ask you to drive a train or flight, can you do that thing without any mistake? So everything is technical. The technical world is different, but the enlightenment is different. Psychologically you will not commit any mistake, but physically is the different thing. Physical thing, technical thing alone will help. If you are technically qualified, according to your qualification, you can do the thing. If you are not qualified to drive a car, you cannot drive. So that is different.
What do you say about that Kundalini?
That is yogi process. In the yogi process, some Kundalini energy is on the bottom of, on the base of our spinal cord. Some energy chakras is there, where some energy force is known as Kundalini energy. With the help of some energy power, you can create the energy, make to go to raise the Kundalini power to the highest peak, and thereby you can have some experiences. When it reaches some other, whatever may be the chakras, according to the chakras, you may have some varieties of experiences, some powers. So that is related to the yoga process. And it has no connection with this enlightenment and liberation. You need not go all those things. There are some persons, some if you do it very roughly or anything, you will create some problem within yourself. So it is an unnecessary thing. But in the main track is very free, without any traffic. But it is this is side track with many traffic. There are many problems. So you need not the entire time the side track.
So I have a question how your teaching connects with some the Indian tradition. You know, when you were speaking yourself or someone else about today the gross body, the subtle body, and then there's the third, they call it causal body in English translation. And the first two I have no difficulty to relate to, but the third one I have never really made sense of.
The causal body is in the seed form. That the causal body presently, the causal body will not function. The causal body presently, the causal body will function just like subconscious mind. But what we feel is known as the conscious mind. The conscious mind is the subtle body, and the subconscious mind is known as the causal body.
Ah, okay, that's a nice answer.
But whenever you go away from our body during our death, both the conscious mind and subconscious mind will be there. But whenever you take another birth, the conscious mind will go away from you. The subconscious mind alone will come and it will take new conscious mind.
So may I ask a similar question while we are into this? There are also the 5 bodies, and you know, with the Annamaya and so on. Yeah. And also with this, I have no trouble relating to this with the first 4. But then there is the 5th, they call Anandamaya Kosha. It's the same thing. I cannot relate to this. Can you explain this also somewhere?
So Anandamaya Kosha means, so what we are having some consciousness. For example, the eye consciousness. The eye consciousness is we can feel something. So what we can feel something is known as Anandamaya Kosha.
Okay.
The consciousness, the real consciousness that we can feel is Anandamaya Kosha. But it can convert it into many forms. The very Anandamaya Kosha may have some expression just like all other emotions. The basic structure of all our emotions is the root is the Anandamaya Kosha.
So again, a very good answer, I think.
If someone scold me, okay, what is affected, whether it is I am is affected, whether conscious is affected, and which one is affected?
So here you have the idea. You have the idea that he should not scold you yourself. So the idea, if you have the idea, according to the idea, you have some energy. So whatever have the idea, according to the idea, you can have the energy. For that, you have to understand the description in the Hindu Indian language. Manam, Buddhi, Siddham, Ahankar. They divide the mind into 4 classifications. The mind is one thing, Buddhi is another thing, Siddha is another thing. Ahankar is the other thing. So, for example, you are working in a office, in a government office, and they are giving holidays for 5 days, and you want to enjoy the holidays for 5 days. What you are going to do for the 5 days? Your mind give you some suggestion. I want to go to some hill station, beautiful hill station, and I may enjoy there for 5 days. The same mind will ask you, no, hill station is not good. We may go to some pilgrimage and worship many temples. It may select like this. So the mind may suggest many things. Whatever, but you have to decide. You have to do one thing. So you have to decide upon. You have to select upon the suggestion of the mind. You have to select one thing. The selective process is known as buddhi or intellect. The mind, intellect, chitta, that is different. The buddhi or intellect will select. You have to select only one thing. Either you have to select it to go to pilgrimage or to go to hill station. The selective process is the buddhi. And when you select something, the energy will flow from the chitta. Chitta means that is the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is chitta. The subconscious mind will supply energy for that. So the selection is important. For example, you are walking along a street and 100 meters away from the thing, some crowd is there. You can look at the crowd 100 meters away from you. You do not know what is going on there. You do not know. But the crowd alone is there. So you want to know what is going on there. You want to know. So your mind tells you, we may go there and we may look what is going on there. Your mind may say like this. The mind may say another thing also. No, the crowd is not a good one. It may look some unwanted person. It looks like some unwanted persons are standing there. If you go there, it may create some unnecessary thing towards us. So let us avoid the place. We may suggest. So the mind suggests two things. The first thing it suggests to go to the crowd. The second thing it suggests, no, you have to avoid the crowd. So if you decide, you have to decide first to decide. If you decide the first thing, no, I have to go to the crowd. So if you decide to go to the crowd, what energy is necessary to make you to go there? Some interest alone is enough. So if you decide to go there, some interest will be necessary. For that, the interest will be separate for your subconscious mind. So the interest with the subconscious mind or chitta will separate interest. So with the help of the interest, you will go to the place. So in the same way, if you select the second choice, for example, the crowd is not good, you want to avoid the situation. So you decide, I don't want to go to there. This crowd is not good. So what kind of energy is important, is necessary to avoid the crowd? Some fear is necessary. So if you want to avoid the crowd, the fear is necessary. So the subconscious mind will create fear towards you, and with the help of the fear, you will avoid the crowd. So in this way, if somebody scolds you, you decide he should not behave like this. If you think like that, so necessary energy from the subconscious mind will come. So the subconscious mind, because you think it is a negative thing. So when you thinking that if somebody is praising you, is praising you a good thing. When you praising you with good words, then you enjoy the situation. When you accept the situation, some positive energy will flow from your subconscious mind. So if somebody scold you, it is not a good thing. So some negative energy will be supplied from the subconscious mind. So that is happening. So whatever you decide, according to that, some subconscious mind will supply the energy towards that. So that is the experience of that.
What is the conscious part on this?
The conscious part, so all those things are conscious. For example, you understand the crowd is good or bad, this is conscious part. The decision is conscious part. The supplying of energy alone is unconscious part. The subconscious mind alone is unconsciously doing all those things. You cannot control the subconscious mind. But you can decide. You can decide within your conscious mind. Whatever you decide within your conscious mind, according to that, the energy will be supplied from the subconscious mind. You cannot have any control over the subconscious mind.
So how do we know whether it's a right choice? Or is it always the right choice? Whatever we do is the right thing at that moment. How do we discern whether...
So according to your knowledge, according to your memory, you have to select. So you cannot select beyond your memory, beyond your knowledge. You have to select the situation, whatever your memory tells you, that you have to select. For example, if you take for example, some rope is there, some big rope is there. If you think it is a rope, you can very easily take the rope. But if you are afraid it is a snake, some fear will come. So your memory alone tells you. It may not be real. If you are afraid it is a snake, but it is not real. But anyhow, you think it is a snake. Your memory says like that. Your appearance, because it may be dark sometimes, some light is not proper. So you may think like that. And whatever you decide, what you conclude, if you conclude this is a snake, you will be afraid of even a rope itself. Now the fear will come from yourself. Actually, if it is not fear, if it is not a snake, really it is not a snake, fear is not necessary. But when you understand it is a snake, naturally the fear comes.
Because I have the feeling that a lot of my psychological trouble or work comes from believing that I've made the wrong choice. Like then, say for example, I decide something and then after that I think I've made the wrong choice and then a lot of thoughts are produced.
So when you come to a conclusion that I have made a wrong choice, The very conclusion that we have taken a wrong choice creates problem within yourself. So if you come to a conclusion, I have come to a correct choice, then the negative emotion will not come. So whatever you come to a conclusion, if you accuse yourself, if you criticize yourself, some negative emotion will come. If you accept yourself, positive emotion will come. So you have to decide whatever you have to do according to your decision, according to your conclusion, positive or negative emotion will come from yourself.
So last time I understand, sir. If I don't like one superior, that is my higher officer, but I need to work under him. So how can I need to react? How can I control myself? Whether it is also, he is always irritating me. How can I take this as a good way?
I appreciate your question is a very good one, but I have to give you an elaborate answer. The time is not permitting, so we can continue tomorrow with the same question. We can meet tomorrow. Tomorrow is the conclusive session. But whoever comes earlier alone it will be helpful for the tomorrow session. The newcomer will not be benefited. Only whoever come today may come tomorrow, or whoever come early may be benefited tomorrow. Otherwise, the newcomers will not be benefited. Because only the conclusion, it is a confirmation. If you are not understand anything, confirmation will not be happen. So, if you have understood anything, you can confirm tomorrow. Thank you all.